Just with the joining benefit, I have been able to extract the value out of this card. Paying 70,000 rupees, I've been able to generate hopefully 96,000 rupees of value out of this card. It's not all happy and rosy. There are two benefits that have been discontinued by Amex, which I actually miss. Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to share my reasons of getting the new Amex card. I recently got this card and I want to share with you what are some of the reasons, what are some of the things I'm looking forward to in this card, why did I get it, and what are some of the things that I don't like about this card and my honest assessment about this. This is not a paid video, Amex has not paid me for it. I am paying the fees of this card myself, so 70,000 rupees of fees I'm paying. I have my reasons of how I'm going to extract value out of this, so stay tuned till the end. But first, let's look at what the card looks like, right? This is how the card came. It came in an envelope, and then inside the envelope was this box. You open the box and you see the card in there. It's stuck in here. It's a little hard. It's a pretty good looking, I'd say it's a really good looking metal card. This friend of mine was joking around that if Apple had to make a card, it would probably look closer to this. So I think that's a big compliment to Amex for how they made this card appear. So you take the card out, after you take the card out, there is obviously some letters and like some envelopes for auto debit and all of that stuff. And then there are a whole bunch of different pamphlets about all the different benefits that this card has. I am going to cover these in greater depth in this video, so stay tuned. But yeah, nothing like golf and all of that usual stuff. You can check it out on the website. I think all of these are available on the website as well. But that's really what the box is like. Personally, I'm not a big fan of these bulky boxes because they end up just taking space and like adding to the garbage dump. I'd much rather prefer the simple envelope that they used to send. So I had this card earlier as well in October 2022. And back then they sent a simple envelope. I actually preferred that as opposed to these wasteful boxes which totally serve a purpose. So yeah, let's get started with how I got this card. I got an email from Amex saying that I was eligible to upgrade my Platinum Travel Card to this card. I called them up and checked that do I have to give up my Platinum Travel Card, to which they said, no sir, you don't need to give up your Platinum Travel Card. You can get a new Platinum Charge Card and continue to retain your Platinum Travel Card, which was good for me because I actually prefer the Platinum Travel Card over this card. I've had this card once in the past and I mean, depends on the renewal benefits that you get, and I was not getting very good renewal benefits, and so I surrendered it. So it's good to see it come back, and so I have some experience with this, which I hope I can share with you in this video. So let's now dive into what are some of the benefits which compelled me or like made me pay 70,000 rupees and how I'm going to extract the maximum value out of this, right? No brainer. It all starts with what the joining benefit is. So for me personally, the biggest benefit is the joining benefits of 1,25,000 MR points. I've briefly spoken about this in my previous video. If you haven't seen that, the link is in the description. You can see that credit card video. But let's break this further down, right? Like, what do these 1,25,000 MR points mean, and how am I going to use them to extract the most value out of it? So if you look here, 1,25,000 MR points equals 1,62,500 Bonvoy Marriott points. How did we arrive at the 1,62,500 number? Towards the end of the year, typically in Q4, Marriott and Amex come up with a partnership where they give you 30% extra points for transferring this. So 30% extra translates to 1.625 lakh Bonvoy points. I'm going to take a conservative estimate of a half a rupee value of a Bonvoy point. It can actually be a lot more than that depending on which property are you staying at and if they are running any offers. But let's take a conservative estimate, and that arrives at 81,250 rupees in value. So you see, just with the joining benefit, I have been able to extract the value out of this card. We're paying 70,000 rupees, we're getting 81,000 rupees broadly back. So I think that's the real reason why I got it. It was a no-brainer for me with this joining benefit. There are some other benefits as well in addition to this, which are monetary, which will serve me well. The first one is that my Amex Platinum travel fees, which is 5,000 rupees, is going to be waived off. So to the 81,000 rupees, let's add that 5,000, that becomes 86,000 rupees. And the second benefit is that in my birthday month, they send a 10,000 rupee Taj voucher. So let's add that, and 86 plus 10 becomes 96,000, right? So just in terms of flat monetary value, I've been able to generate hopefully 96,000 rupees of value out of this card, which is great. I do end up using Marriott hotels for my personal stays, so I don't see this as an extra expense. It's something I would have anyway done, and I'm just paying 70,000 rupees and getting more value out of that. There are some other benefits that I am excited about that do help me in my day-to-day. So that's the first one. Let's start with that, which is the Marriott Bonvoy Gold Elite membership. This is basically 25% bonus point on stays. Every time I go for work trips, I end up staying in Marriott, so I'll get 25% bonus points on those stays. I'll be eligible for a room upgrade if it's available, which is great. Who doesn't like free room upgrades? And the third one is a 2 p.m. late checkout. I know it's not that big of a benefit, but it's useful if you have a late flight or if you want to spend a few more hours in the room, right? So that's a good one. The other benefit that I actually do also want to call out is, and that's something that I've used in the past extensively, are the lounges, American Express Centurion Lounges, especially in these 4 cities, Delhi, Bombay, London, Heathrow, and Changi, Singapore. And the reason why I like these is that I do end up traveling from these cities to these cities. I have my brother in London, and whenever I visit him, I actually ended up using the Heathrow lounge as well. It's a pretty good lounge. I can't put a monetary value to it, but it's convenient. It's a good lounge. It's not very crowded like the Adani lounges and so many other lounges all over the country which you don't even want to visit anymore. So yeah, I think it works out well. Sometimes you're traveling with family and you have a few hours to kill. These lounges come in handy then, right? So it's a good lounge to have. I have supplementary cards that my wife will also take, and she also travels for work a fair bit, so she can also use these lounges. So that's the other benefit that I'm looking forward to. And finally, the last benefit that could come in handy is the reward multiplier. This benefit has 5x rewards on these 5 platforms: Ajio, Nykaa, Tata Click, Flipkart, and Myntra. And the reason this works well is because it almost gives you a 3 to 4% return on cashback of sorts on these different platforms, which is actually more than the Infinia, right? So I do end up buying from these e-com platforms, and I think it's a good benefit to have. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. It's not all happy and rosy. There are 2 benefits that have been discontinued by Amex, which I actually miss. And this used to be in the card earlier when I had it in October 2022. These benefits were there, but they're not there anymore. So let me briefly cover them as well.
The first one is that earlier when you used to book a domestic trip of at least 1 lakh rupees on their concierge, then they would give a flat 30,000 rupees Daj cashback in the form of vouchers back, right? This was amazing, 30% cashback on 1 lakh rupees spends of a trip, which you can use for your next trip, not that same trip. I have used this in the past, and I really thought this was a great benefit to have, which has been discontinued. The second one was that they used to reimburse home repairs up to rupees 1200. This has been discontinued as well. I have actually gotten this reimbursed in the past. So there was a RO filter that I got changed, and I got that reimbursed, and before I could do it the next time, this benefit was discontinued. So I feel like these are 2 benefits that I would like to get back, and I hope Amex is listening and they can bring this back.
Because otherwise the card is fairly limited in terms of its benefits, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you found this video informative, helpful in some shape or form. If you are considering getting the card, I hope you can make a right decision for yourself depending on your usage and depending on your lifestyle. For me personally, it makes sense because every time I take trips, I end up staying in Marriott hotels, and this is just, I'm going to use these points in lieu of those Marriott stays, and that's how I look at it. So yeah, that's all for today. If you found this video helpful, please do give it a like. It really helps the channel. It's a very young channel. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Leave them in the comment section below. Share it with your friends and family. Share it with any friend who might be looking to get this card. I'm also going to leave the referral link in the comments below in case you do want to get it using a referral link. It always helps with some additional benefits. Yeah, that's all, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.